Good morning and welcome to the information session for the BSc in Information Technology. Today we'll find out more about the BSc in Information Technology program. I'm your speaker. My name is Ravi Raghunath. I'm the Executive Director of CTS College. Today we'll be looking at answering several different questions in this topic, including the following. All right. In terms of why study a BSc, these are some of the many reasons people have given when asked at our various information sessions. These include promotion, career change, salary increase, start or growing their own business, personal achievement, practical experience, as well as enhancing their employability. What I want to talk to you about now, however, is the fact that when we talk to many students, often we find that they see education, and it doesn't matter what they're studying, as really a cost. And yes, it is a cost, but also I want you to also understand that studying is also an investment and an investment in yourself. And therefore, based on that, I wanted to use a simple example to show you the difference in terms of I want to show you an example to illustrate the difference that an investment may make. Just one thing though, are you guys hearing me clearly? Are you all hearing me? Is anyone hearing me?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, thank you very much. Okay, because I'm getting a few messages that you're not hearing. So I guess you all are hearing. Okay, to the person who's not hearing, it could be that your speaker is not set up properly. So please do a speaker test, or you may want to exit the meeting, check your speakers, and get back on the meeting again. All right. So that's not a problem. Cool. Okay. All right. So in this example, we're going to look at the investment in itself, and I'm using an OJT salary. If you look at the salary of an OJT with just CXC passes versus the salary of an OJT with a bachelor's degree, you will see that the investment itself pays off within 1 year. But the fact is, you're not going to stop working after 1 year and retire. We look at what if salaries remain the same, how much more you would have earned with a bachelor's degree versus CSEC. So using this OJT chart here, the current salary chart for an OJT, if the monthly salary for a CSEC graduate is $3,025 and a bachelor's degree is $7,562.
You're hearing us?
I'm hearing you. Hello? You have something to... Hello? Okay. All right. So based on this, the monthly difference in salary for CSEC versus a bachelor's degree is roughly $4,500 or so, right? That's the monthly salary difference for CSEC versus an OJT. Imagine how much more you learn in a year. Anyone would like to make an assumption or guess how much more you learn in a year? Okay, you get, is it that the call is breaking up, guys? I'm looking at the chat. Is the call breaking up? Or are you hearing me clearly?
We're hearing you clearly.
Yeah, we're hearing you clearly. The connection is fine.
All right, okay, thanks a lot. Okay, because I'm
hearing you clearly too.
No problem. Thank you so much then. All right, so how much more would you earn in a year? Well, if you're earning 4,500 more in 1 month, then in a year you multiply that by 12, right? And that will give you roughly, right? And someone said it in the chat, just over $54,000. Now that's just 1 year, which will cover the cost of the whole program. But the thing is that you're not going to retire in 1 year. What if you were to work for the rest of your life? Well, working life, that is. Typically, what you think is the working life of an individual going on to normal retirement age. How many years would one normally work? Around 40 years or so, 40 to 45 years. So let's say we work for 40 years and you're earning $54,000 more in 1 year, then over a 40-year period, you'd have earned more than over $2 million more. But the reality is that we know based on typical studies, it has shown that if you have a bachelor's degree, your salary will increase at a much higher rate than with an OJT salary with CXC, right? And naturally, I use only OJT salary, but the truth is, when you get promoted, all of that, your salary will increase much more. So it is expected that that actual increase could go until around $4 to $6 million more as well. All right. So just to note the difference in salary as well. Okay. All right. So when you look at the difference in price and what you're earning, the bachelor's degree is really an investment in yourself. And that is why parents really want their kids to go to school and to study, because they understand as well how difficult it is out there. And in order for their child to be best equipped, education is really important. Now, why study with the University of Bedfordshire? Well, just a bit about some quick facts about the University of Bedfordshire. They've started their heritage that started over 100 years ago. They have more than 20,000 students from over 120 different countries in the world. They have 5 campuses in the UK, in Luton, Bedford, Potteridge, Islesburg, and Milton Keynes. And they have partners around the world, including China, Middle East, Europe, Southeast Asia, and Trinidad and Tobago as well, and Guyana also, right? They're internationally renowned and they're ranked in the top 6% of universities in the world. They also won the Queen's University or Anniversary Prize in 2013, which is an extremely high form of recognition in the UK. And they're ranked in many different areas as well, right? So the truth is, it's a recognized university program with a heritage as well. And why study with CTS College? I mean, how many of you here know about, have heard about CTS College prior to the information session? You could use the raise hand feature if you'd like, right? Or you could just simply put on the chat, yes, you've heard about it, or no, you haven't heard about us as well. And don't feel bad. In fact, I'm hoping to get more no's. The reason is that I would like to see that more and more people are learning about CTS each day. So the more no's I have, it means more people are finding out about us as well, right? So I guess you guys have heard about us as well. We do quite a lot of advertising on social media as well and radio. Those are our 2 main areas of advertising as well. So you probably would have heard us in one of those, right? So in terms of question, right, you can lower your hands now as well. Honest as a question. All right, good. Thank you very much. Oh, thanks a lot, Elijah. So a bit more about CTS College. Our mission is to provide high quality and relevant educational opportunities while promoting excellence in staff and students. And just to note as well, we are a private tertiary institution provider. We have over 20 years in the education industry. We are ACTT recognized. We offer a range of programs, including primary, secondary, and tertiary courses, including bachelor's and master's degrees, as well as we offer a range of professional short courses as well to assist in personal development. Our courses are pretty much all online now. So the bulk of our courses are online, so you can access us online also from anywhere in the world. In fact, right now we do have students from Germany, from the UK, we have from Canada, and we have from the US as well. We also have a Jamaican student and a few students of the island who are studying the program remotely as well. So this is wonderful news also, because really we're becoming more of an international organization as we get students from various countries enrolling. This is what I call our bragging page, because CTS College has won over 96 AB World Prizes, and a World Prize is given to the student who got the highest mark in the world, and the AB program is offered in over 30-something different countries, and they have over 200 schools offering the AB program. So it's a remarkable achievement for us to win so many different World Prizes. In fact, we have the record with AB for the most number of World Prizes ever in one session. We won 13 World Prizes about 3 years ago. It was a record at the time. The previous record was 7, I think, and we obliterated the record. We also won over 47 university awards with the University of Hertfordshire. We've won ABMA awards, and one of the things that we've won that really we rejoice in is we've won 11 ACTT awards, including 6 for student support services, 3 for excellence in established quality management system, and 2 for excellence in teaching and learning. In fact, we've won more ACTT awards. These are called the ACTT Quiet Awards. We've won more ACTT Quiet Awards than any other institution in the country. So that's an amazing accomplishment for us as well. So you're going to be part of that heritage also. In terms of our experience delivering a BSc IT program, we've been delivering a BSc IT program for over 14 years. In fact, we're entering our 15th year. All right, we started with the University of Hertfordshire, and now we're working with the University of Bedfordshire. We've had over 2,000 applicants. We've had over 1,700 graduates as well, almost 500 with first class honors. with our graduates working in various sectors in different industries. And we've had over, the program itself has over 85% pass rate. In fact, the Bedfordshire program has a pass rate that's in the 90s, right? So it's a pretty high pass rate for the program. In terms of features of the University of Bedfordshire program, these are some of them. Now, we've been asking students, when we're looking to offer BSc in IT, we've been constantly surveying students to find out what it is they wanted. And these are some of the things students have asked for. One is they wanted a program that was fully accredited because it mattered to them. Many students wanted to travel to, right now, the most students are actually looking at migrating to Canada, right? So a lot of students asking, is this recognized in Canada, etc.? And the answer is yes. So we needed a program that was fully accredited. We needed a program that was globally accessible because students were traveling, students were enrolling from various countries, and therefore they need to access it anywhere they were, right? We needed a program that was practical because employers don't just want people with a degree. They want people with practical experience who could come and apply what they learned to the job. So we looked for a program that was practical and work applied. Students wanted to get their degree as quickly as possible. In fact, I'm sure if I ask you if you could get your degree tomorrow, if you'll take it, and I'm sure many of you will say yes. So we needed to find a program that was accelerated, that you could complete in the shortest possible time, that satisfied all the other criteria. And of course, we are in a price sensitive market, so we needed to offer a program that was affordable. So with all of these in mind, we started hunting down programs, looking for program that satisfied all of these as well. So we've surveyed many different universities and their programs, and in the end, we worked with Bedfordshire because they checked all the boxes as well, right? So in terms of fully accredited, the program is recognized by Accreditation Council of Trinidad and Tobago. Excuse. The University of Bedfordshire is also recognized in the UK by QAA, the Quality Assurance Agency in the UK, and they are the body that basically advise the government as well on conferring of awarding power for degrees. So it's accredited by EQA and recognized by ECTT. Please note as well that even though CTS is approved or an authorized center for the Bedfordshire program, we have to go through a process of transnational quality. And what that means is that as part of their quality process, because when you think accreditation, you think quality, right? All our marketing and promotion are approved by the university. All our admissions, like we cannot approve you for this program. The university does that. We will provide all the information. We will take your application, submit it to the university, but they are the one who determine whether you're accepted or not. Now, everyone will be accepted. The question is at which level, and that is where the university makes a decision. All our lecturers are approved by the university. All our teaching materials are approved by them. All assessments are set by the university, and they also conduct annual audits to ensure we do what we're supposed to do as well. And they do continuous feedback and review as well to ensure that students are enjoying the program, that sort of thing. I also mentioned that the program is globally accessible, and that's because there are students all over the world studying the program. So what the university did to make it accessible, there's an online learning environment called Brio, right? That's the University of Bedfordshire resource and learning environment. And what it is with Brio, you can log into Brio as a student. You'll be given access to Brio, and all your lecture notes will be there. All your assignments are submitted on Brio, etc. So all your materials are there. It's a learning environment, and therefore you have access to that 24 hours a day, right? Now, that makes it globally accessible. But what CTS also does, apart from that, we also provide all the recording of classes on our shared drive. So on our shared drive, you'll have the local lecturers' lecture notes. The recordings are also on the shared drive. Past samples of student solutions and things like those, we make available to you so that you can get an idea of what it is, how to do the assignment, how past students have done, etc. So you get access to all of those, and those will be on our shared drive, right? Right now we're using Google Drive to share that information to you all as well. But the program is globally accessible, so the information is available online. There are students all around the world who are studying the program, and they have a 24-hour student information that's available to provide support. In terms of the program being practical, as I indicated as well, we looked at what employers want, and even that we are also an employer, and we also look from the position of our responsibility, and our responsibility is to ensure that students have the required skills when they graduate from the program. Therefore, we look for a program that was extremely practical, solving real life problems. And throughout the program, you'll be getting hands-on experience because you have to develop IT solution to a range of functions within the IT field. So you are learning practical skills as well within IT. The program is also accelerated. The bridging program can be done in as little as 4 months, and each level, level 4, level 5, level 6, can be completed. There are 4 units and can be completed in 2 semesters, which is 8 months. Most students start at level 4, and given that's the case, from level 4 to level 6, you'd complete level 4 in 8 months, level 5 completed in 8 months, level 6 in 8 months. 3 times 8 is 24. So in 24 months, which is 2 years, you could complete your bachelor's degree. If you're starting at the bridging level, it will take you 2 years and 4 months, but the bridging level is more of an exception. And we'll talk about the entry requirements as well for each level shortly, but you can complete this program in 2 years. Apart from that, right, the program is also affordable, and we work with the university to come up with one of the best pricing structure as well for the program. So you're getting a recognized UK degree, right, while without the cost of leaving home as well to study. And you also have payment plans available as well. We also partner with GMMB to assist students as well who are looking at taking out a loan. Now let's look at the structure of the program. So we said that the program is made up of level 4, level 5, level 6, and there's a bridging program as well. So I'm going to use this here to discuss the entry requirements. Now, ideally, to start level 4, you could start level 4 if you have A levels. You could, and if you have at least 3 A levels, that's fine. You can start level 4. If you have general work experience, it doesn't matter what field it is, right? So listen carefully. It doesn't matter if it's IT or non-IT. Once you have any work experience, it can help you get into the program, right? So you can start at level 4 if you have work experience and general work experience. And if you have IT experience as well, you can even get in there as well, right? It doesn't matter what the experience is, you'd be able to. Now, to go to level 5, you could pass level 4, move on to level 5, or you could enroll directly in level 5 as well. To enroll directly in level 5, you would need to have at least 2 years of 2 or more years of IT work experience and maybe some IT certifications as well. Again, this is subject to the university approving you. And then once you pass level 5, you could go on to level 6. But you could also enroll directly in level 6. To enroll directly in level 6, you need to have either an associate degree or a higher diploma or a level 5 diploma in an IT-based qualification. Anything in computer science, etc., would be very helpful. Like if you at Costa, you did operation systems management, or you did a diploma in software engineering at UTT, etc., or at Roytech, you did the associate degree there, or you did the BTech HND, or you did the NCC high diploma at SAMS, etc. All of those programs you could use to get into the final year of the degree. Also, if you have a lot of work experience in IT and you have some IT certs, you can also be considered for eligible for the degree as well for level 6, right? So those are some options there. Now, the bridging program was created for persons really who are fresh out of CXC or any other person who don't qualify. But typically it was for students who just wrote CSEC. You can move from CSEC straight to your degree, but you do the bridging program, right? So it's really for persons who don't have any work experience or secondary qualification, or persons who've just completed their secondary qualification could start here. But the rule is everyone or anyone can start at one of the levels, whether it's bridging level 4, level 5, level 6, as the case may be based on what they currently have. So if you have nothing at all, bridging program. But if you have like some work experience or a bit mature, you can start at level 4 and that sort of thing. Cool. So that's the different level and entry requirements for each level. In terms of what you'd learn, as I said, the course is very practical, but each year focus is different. Like level 4, which is year 1, you tend to learn more introductory skills in computing. So you learn about introduction to software, you learn about principles of hardware, how computers are built, how it works, etc. You would learn about databases, you'll also learn networking, you'll have access to Cisco Academy as well, right? You will also learn about SQL, you'll learn Java, Python, and Oracle, and Microsoft Access. Those are database packages you'll learn. You're also part of the program also includes Peopleware. Peopleware is about getting you ready, looking at your different learning style and getting you ready for the world of work also. So those are some of the things covered in year one, but it's a lot of practical skills you're gaining because you'll be programming in Java and Python in particular, you're learning those language. The assumption is we treat you as though you know nothing, you've never done anything before, and you're now starting. That's our starting point, right? Level 5 now, which is year 2, will focus on how software is designed and developed, right? And of course, you will also learn programming in year 2. You'll learn PHP, you'll build a web application as well. You'll learn some project management here. You learn about HCI design, which is designing applications, etc. in year 2. Whereas in year 3, you'll have to develop an independent project like a thesis. You'll also learn more on user experience and also in terms of developing software prototype, etc. So those are some of the practical aspects of the course. And so in terms of the units, the only thing is the names of the subject don't quite indicate what the content is. So like, for example, Introduction to Software Development is where you're learning Python. Fundamentals of Computer Studies, you would learn about both peopleware and about hardware. You learn about digital, like number systems and logic gates and all of those things as well. Whereas principles of programming, you learn Java programming and you have to build an application. And computer system structure, you learn databases and networking as well. So you learn normalization and those things and designing a database system, as well as you learn how to, so for the database side, you learn normalization, etc. And of course, you learn the networking part as well. So these are some of the different courses in each year. Notice in level 4, level 5, level 6, there are 4 units or 4 subjects in each level. Each level, there are 120 credits. So you get 120 credits for year 1, 120 credits for year 2, and another 120 credits for year 3, which adds up to 360 credits, which is the sum needed for a bachelor's qualification. Good. So that's how your degree is based, right, from the total credits. Now, I know for many of you, you're working and you're probably trying to figure out how can I fit this into my busy lifestyle? I don't have as much time. I have a family or have a job or have other stuff that's demanding, but I need to study as well. So let me share with you what about the program that makes it easy to fit into your busy lifestyle. First of all, there are 3 intake period. So every 4 months, a new semester starts. Our next intake is in June. So we're preparing for the June intake, right? Now, in terms of how we deliver each unit has a 2-hour class per week. So you have a 2-hour session per week. Each unit is assessed via typically 2 assignments, sometimes more. The semester runs for roughly 15 weeks, and you have a 2-week break at the end of the semester. So you have usually 1 day of class per week. So this is an example of a timetable, right? And in this example timetable, you might have a bridging program, which is 2 hours, 1 day for the week. You have each of these subjects is a 2-hour class once for the week. But I want you to know the following as well, that in some instances, right, if you have an assignment coming up, we will do a tutorial for the assignment, and the tutorial is simply an additional class to prepare you for the assignment. So we do all of those as well. So those classes, however, we don't have a specific date and time because it's all based on the assignment, how much help you need, etc. And all of this is to further support you. There's no additional cost for those classes, but it's really geared to help you to succeed in your assessments as well, right? So we don't do the assessment for you, but we work and we guide you through the assessment. We teach you stuff that's relevant. We even provide general information and guidance as well, so that you can feel empowered while doing the assignment, okay? Now, in terms of your assessment, you're going to be assessed in a variety of ways, including you'll have coursework, which is like you're given an assignment to do maybe 3 or 4 weeks ahead of time. You may have some group and individual projects as well. You may have to develop a portfolio. A portfolio is a variety of different things you have to do that will go towards your overall mark. You may be given an essay or presentation to do or an exam to write. But in no case, this is the be all and end all. In each case, the assignments may vary 30%, 40%, 50% as the case may be, right? So based on that, once you pass your total marks, once your total mark is more than 40, you'll pass the unit, right? So in terms of passing a unit now, you need to get a total score of 40 or more in order to pass. Once your total mark is 40 or more, you will pass. The only time you would not pass is if you had a like plagiarism or any academic offense. If you had an academic offense, then they would fail you the unit. or give you a referral to do, sorry, because there was an academic offense committed. What is an academic offense? This is if a student plagiarized other person's work, etc., right? Then you would have committed a crime, an academic crime, and therefore you would be penalized in that regard. Now, here's the thing. When you write your exam, if your mark is less than 40, then you don't automatically fail as yet. You are given what you call a referral. A referral is simply another assignment that you're required to do at a later date. So they will give you a date by which the referral is due. And once you pass the referral, you pass the unit. If you fail the referral, you fail the unit. And then only if you fail the referral, then you have to pay to repeat the unit. Good? So only then do you need to pay. But if you fail the unit the first time, you get a referral. It's free, and if you pass that, you pass the unit. So that's one of the what I'll call a bit of grace offered from the university. Now, in terms of graduation, you can graduate with first class, upper second, lower second, or third class honors. All right. Now, which class of degree you get is dependent on how well you do. So if you started from the lower level, so you started at either year 1 or year 2, and you work your way to the final year, this is how your degree classification is determined. Your year 1, first of all, doesn't count, but your year 2 grades start counting. And in terms of year 2 grade, they take your best 90 credits or your best 3 subjects from year 2. So they take your best 3 overall marks from year 2, but those marks are weighted at 1. And then in year 3, your marks are double the weight. So your year 3 marks are double the weight. They take your best 3 marks. However, they must include the undergraduate project. So the undergraduate project is mandatory, and they take the next 2 marks, and those marks have a weighing of 2. Based on that, they find the average, and if it's 70 or more, you get first class honors. If it's in the 60s, you get upper second. If it's in the 50s, lower second, etc. If you enroll directly into level 6, then they take your best 3 marks, but your project must be included. So your project and your best other 2 marks, and based on that, they find the average. If it's 70 or more, first class honors, 60s, upper second, 50s, lower second, 40s, you get third class honors. So far, all the students who graduated from the program, the Bedfordshire program, have graduated with first class or upper second class honors. So it's quite good so far. In terms of support, CTS College is well known for support. And based on the support as well, this is the type of support you can expect. Our support starts with, even from before, when you request information, you'll get an email with the details. We then host an information session to ensure that you get all the information about the program. Our intent is not to get you just simply to sign up. We want to be sure that you are ready when you make that decision, that you are aware of the financial commitment, the commitment on your time and effort and all of those. So even though there's just a 1 2 hour class per subject for the week, the truth is you have to spend quite a bit of time on studying and preparing, because sometimes you may have a lot of work to do because you have multiple assignments, etc. Right? Sometimes it may be a slower period as well, but you need to be able to manage yourself and manage your time as well. Okay. You need letters and all of those. We will provide those. We accept your application, send it to the university as well. And even after you get accepted, we have an induction program to make sure you have all the relevant skills on referencing, Harvard referencing, etc., to avoid you committing any academic offense. So we do all of those things as well before you start classes. So all of these are the types of support we provide. Then apart from that, we have the share drive with all the past papers and stuff like that, and samples and notes and all of those. So you can see, you could get access to the whole level at one time. And apart from that, you have access to BRIO and university resources such as study material, support guides, grades, feedback on assignments, etc. Right? So those are some of the things in terms of the support. Now, after you've gotten accepted, and just the week before classes start, we have an induction. What the induction is to go through with you about the university, their program. Like if you have to withdraw, if you have to rest and take a break, you need to know the university rules. And then apart from that, we also do a tutorial on Harvard referencing, teaching you how to do proper academic writing, research, etc., and how to the proper way to reference your sources. Okay, so those are some of the things we'll cover as well. Our lecturers, we try to get persons who have industry experience, who have been working in industry, as opposed to who are teachers only. But we wanted persons who are working in the industry so that they will be able to marry both the job, the actual workplace, as well as the qualification also, right? So our lecturers also are industry expert in the area that they study. in terms of resources now, what resources will you need? Because the program is online and you're doing it from home, you would need to have access to a computer to do your assignments, to attend classes, etc. And depending as well, you may need to have access to certain resources, but the resources you'll need will be free resource. Like for example, you'll need to get an ID for when you're doing programming, and there are free versions available, and the ones we use are also free, right? You may have to do like courses where you have to do programming, etc., or develop the user experience side of it. So all of those you'll be given access to the relevant software to be able to use to succeed. And of course, you'll need a good Wi-Fi connection as well, right? Once you finish the program, you could graduate at the Hyatt Regency, as well as you could graduate in the UK. Of course, if you're going to the UK to graduate, you will have to pay your own fees though, right? That's a given. But the fact is you get to enjoy the graduation ceremony at the university premises as well. It's a wonderful opportunity to see. They do it at a cathedral, and it's a beautiful cathedral as well. So the next topic is, how do I qualify? And the qualification is really the entry requirements. Now we went through the entry requirements as well, right? And usually when you submit your application, I will review your application further and determine whether or not you can start at a higher level or not. And we'll have a discussion as well. The only people starting the bridging program are really persons who have only just finished CSEC and you have no work experience, right? But if you do have work experience, you can start at level 4 as well, right? Okay, so these are the different entry requirements for level 4, level 5, and level 6. Now, how do you apply? So at the end of today's session, I will email you the application form. I'll send you a link to the recording of the session. I'll probably need an hour and a half for the video to convert and then upload it to YouTube. And once it's done, I'll send you a link to the video as well, so you can review it as well. And I'll also send you the application form for you to apply. And once you're applying, you need to complete the application form, include a copy of your ID or your driver's permit or your passport. Any of the three is fine. They simply want a picture ID. So any of the three is fine. Include your resume if you have one, right? Include if you have any certificates of higher learning, like you did a BS bachelor's degree or you did an associate degree or whatever you would have done. Include your academics as well. It will help me in terms of assessing where's the best place for you to start. Your resume will be helpful also in doing so, right? So once we have that, you submit those to me, and then I will submit it to the university once it's complete. If it's not complete, then I will just advise you accordingly as well. Okay. Now, once you submit your application to me, I will then submit it back. I will submit it to the university. The university will approve you for the different levels. They will send a letter of offer to me. I will then send you that offer letter along with some other forms to fill out. You complete those forms, you send it back to me. And once you have registered with CTS, then we will send it off to the university in the UK. Good. Now, in terms of pricing, the following is the pricing for the program. Now, there are different levels. So this is the overall pricing. So please note, you'll see some more slides with pricing. This first slide has the total price. So if you're in the bridging program, there's only one unit. It's $500 to register, $2,000 for the tuition fee, and £150 to the university. So $500 to register, $2,000 for tuition, and $150 for the university. At level 4, which is year 1, there are 4 units, but you're doing 2 per semester. 2 in semester 1, 2 in semester 2. $500 to register per semester, $2,000 per subject, and there are 4 subjects, so that's $8,000 there, and £150 by 4, because there are 4 units. Level 5, there are also 54 subjects, and level 6 to register, 500.
And the call is actually starting to break up now. You're now starting to break up.
No problem. Let's see. I'm just changing location as well to see if it will help. Are you still losing the video as well, or is still?
It's just back and forth, but at one point you're starting to sound clear, and then the other parts it's still breaking up. But right now it's a little bit better.
All right. Okay. Now, just one challenge I have there. If I move and I unplug, recently my computer started becoming unstable. So once I unplug, it may cut off, and I don't want to chance this session having to cut off, right? Okay, so
Sure, not a problem.
no problem. But thank you for the feedback as well. Okay, so these are the cost. This is the costing for the different levels. Take a look and see if there are any questions you may have as well that you'd like me to answer as well. This is the overall costing. Now, please note there are payment plans and stuff which I'll discuss shortly, right? Okay, so there are payment plans, etc. that's available. So you can take a look at, we'll talk about those shortly. Now, I'm moving now from the full course to what it will cost you per semester, right? So in terms of our payment plans now, let's look at the semester payment plan. If you're, well, in bridging program, there's only one subject, right? But if you're in level 4 and you're paying per semester, in each semester, you'll pay 500 to register, you pay 4,000 for tuition, and you pay 300 for the university fees. And you do that in semester 1, and you repeat that again in the second semester. So in each level, it's 2 semesters, and each semester you'll pay 500 to register, 4,000 for tuition, and 300 to the university. Level 5 is the same thing, 2 semesters, 500 to register each semester, and 4,500 for tuition in total for that semester, and 300 to the university. Level 6 is 500 to register, 2,500 by 2, which is 5,000 for tuition, and £750, which is 2 subjects you're paying for that semester. And you do that for each semester, and there are 2 semesters. Now, we have a monthly payment plan as well. And for the monthly payment plan, note the following. For your tuition fee divided into 4 months, and you pay quarter or 25% of the tuition fee each month. So therefore, for the bridging program, you could pay 500 in tuition each month for 4 months. For level 4, you could pay 500 per month per subject by 4 months. And for level 5, you pay $562.50 per month per subject for each month for 4 months. And level 6, you pay $625 per month per subject for 4 months. And that's how you can pay. Now, please note the following. The university fees are paid up front to the university, right? So we have to pay that to the university at the start of the semester. So what we do, we usually don't have too much leeway with that, because the problem is that if we don't get the fees, it's difficult for us to pay the university, right? And that's one of the small challenge. Now, here's the thing. We have a special offer available for you guys where you could get up to $1,000 off your tuition fee per level, which works out to $250 off per unit. So you can get up to $250 off each unit, right? If you do the following. So how do you get that special offer? Well, here's our special conditions. To qualify for the special offer, you must submit your completed application form and supporting documents by 26th of February, right? Which is next week, Friday. Is that reasonable for you to complete the application form and submit with the supporting documents? If you are having a challenge, please call me. My number, I'll give you my number again. If you are having a challenge, please call me so that I could assist further. And in terms of your tuition and university fees, you must pay these for the semester. You pay the semester fees by the 12th of June. So you have all the way until June, not now, but quite June to pay your fees. So once you pay off your fees by 12th of June, which is just before the start of the semester, and you submit your application by 26th February, you can get that special offer, qualify for it, right?
So the application, just to clarify, just to get personal clarification, the application part of it, the written part of it, you want that by the 26th of February, which will qualify you for the $1,000 off.
That's one of the conditions. So if you complete the application and submit the supporting documents by the 26th, and you pay, then we apply, you get accepted, and after you've gotten accepted, then what you do next, so after you've been accepted, what you do next is you have to pay your tuition fee by the 12th of June, right? And once you pay your fees off by then for the semester, you'll get a discount. Okay? So you need to apply first. So you apply, you're not paying any money when you apply. You apply, you get accepted, and once you've done all the process of getting accepted, etc., then you make the payment of the fees by the 12th of June. That's okay?
Okay, sure. Well, I have your number. We have the number, so I'll call if I need further clarification. Thank you.
No problem. Take your mix. All right. Okay, in terms of starting, our next semester starts on the 26th of June. So you do have some time before the start date, but I would like you to send your application early so you can get accepted. And then you can look at it in terms of start planning and preparing for the program. I could also give you access to all the materials as well after you've been accepted, so you can start studying ahead of the semester as well. Okay? So that, guys, brings us to the end of our information session. But we have now question and answer session. And if you have any question, feel free as well to liaise with me if you have any particular question as well.
Is it
Go ahead.
is it possible for if anyone can anyone preview the material like right now? Is it possible to like log into the portal or set up a profile in the portal to get an idea what the courses actually look like and look at the material?
Right, the university wouldn't give you access to those, right? Because the bureau is theirs, and it only get it after you've been set up as a student and you have a username and password, because you need login credentials to enroll. But what I'm willing to do for you, if you like, I'm willing to probably share with you as well some of the information as well, so that you can take a look, browse around as well and see. Right? Now, notice
Okay.
it's free to apply. The application is free, and once you've applied, after you've been accepted, like I generally provide all the material as well to you after you've applied and been accepted, and you confirm that you're starting, right? I will provide the information to you as well, so it won't be an issue there either, right? But I'm happy if you want to be outside of the session where we could look at some of the material as well, right?
Appreciate that, man. Thank you.
No problem. So you liaise with me after on it, right? Now, just
Okay.
on the chat, I'm also putting my phone numbers on the chat so that you guys can get my phone number as well. So just in case, right? So my name is Ravi Raghunath, and my phone number is 777-1294, right? Email as well as on the chat. But what I'll suggest to you as well, you can typically call and message me on WhatsApp. You'll get much faster response. Okay. One thing I'd like to ask though is in terms of the one thing I'd like to ask, if it's all right, if each of you could put your email address on the chat, please. The reason is you could private message me your name and email address just in case. The reason I'm asking for it is because I want to be sure that each of you get a copy of the information session that I'm sending out. And I can only do that if I have your email address, right? So would you mind in what on the chat, you could either private message or include it, not your name so much, but more email address. But if you want to put both your name and email address, that will be helpful because I may not have both of them. I could match your name and email address also, okay? But your email address for sure. Make sure you verify your email address as well, because often students make errors with their email address, all right? So please do so for me if you don't mind. Just include your email address on the chat. Thank you very much. Are there any other questions as well?
I also have a question. Is these classes online, like permanently, or just like for a short term?
All right. So in terms of the classes, they are currently online. But here's the thing, right? When schools had to close because of COVID, the physical classroom, ACTT gave all schools blanket approval to deliver their programs online. However, and this isn't just for CTS, this is for all schools. If any one of us want to continue offering our program online after, we have to get approval from both the awarding body and from ACTT. Now, from ACTT's perspective, they don't have any criteria as yet for online to approve schools for online, but they are in the process of developing them. So we would have had multiple meetings with ACTT as recent as 2 weeks ago. We had our last meeting with them as well. They met with various institutions and they discussed that whole online delivery as well. And they are putting together these criteria or standards that you must adhere to deliver online programs. And once they do, our plan is to apply for online delivery, right? We've already notified the university as well. So we have to get the approval from both university and from ACTT, but it's not quite ready as yet. So in the interim, because of the whole COVID issue, all schools have blanket approval to deliver their programs online, right? And so Now, after that though, let's say that has been removed, and it's not going to likely be removed right away as well. But when it is, we and the ACTT has the standards as well for online delivery, we will be applying. Our intent is to remain online. Just a note as well, we've been doing surveys with students, and in March when we switched to online versus like now, when we do a comparison and we've done multiple surveys, more than 90% of the students now, it had reached, well, it steadily climbed from 50s to 60s. Now over 90% of students are wanting to remain online. And because we have the backing of the students, you know, these things matter as well, because when we use it, we'll be using those surveys with ACTT as well in presenting that these are things that the student would have wanted as well. If you don't mind, there are about 30 of us here. How many of you, if you could use the raise hand feature, or you could just simply indicate if you want to stay online. In fact, if you could just indicate if you prefer online or the face-to-face class. So online or face-to-face, you can type it in the chat if you wish. Well, maybe it's best to just type it in the chat so we can see the responses, so we know if it's online or face-to-face, if you don't mind. So I'll get an idea. This is all feeding us as well with the information. And even from the chat, you will realize as well, it's pretty much almost right. And there are a few people who don't mind either. So there are some students who don't mind either, but there are very few who only want face-to-face, right? Gotcha. Thank you very much. Appreciate your responses, guys. Yep, the online definitely has a lot more conveniences to it, of course, right? There are also some small challenges with the online. We found that some students, they are logged in online, but when you're asking them questions, they're not answering, so they probably absent, but they're present online, logging into class, but not actively participating, right? But there are many conveniences to the online. Cool. Well, guys, feel free to ask your questions as well. Any other questions you guys may have?
Yeah, I have a question, please.
Go right ahead.
So I wanted to know, do you all keep up with like well, sorry if this was covered, I was kind of on and off. But in terms of employment, do you keep a track, like, you know, send to your students afterwards to kind of know like what they up to, if they are getting employment? So like just to gauge like what is the employment rate of your program, the students coming out of your program? That's one question. The second question, I know everybody, me myself, prefers the online platform. However, well, I am new to this field, so I wanted to know in terms of like the part with the hardware and getting to know, you know, those types of things with the hardware. How is that facilitated online? Because in my mind, I would imagine it would be better to, of course, to, you know, have a feel for that when putting together the actual hardware. So I just wanted to know, how is that dealt with in the program? Thank you.
So we'll do both of them. First one is in terms of the employability of the students. Now, what we do is, first of all, a lot of students in the program are already employed, either in IT or outside of IT. And we have done a couple of these, what we call tracer studies as well in the past, to get an idea of where they're working and stuff like that. However, what we also do, because most students are coming into the program already employed, right, or working, because the classes are just on weekends, so most students tend to get employment during the term. The other thing we do, we get a lot, every month we send out typically 1 to 3 newsletters with employment or vacancies for students. So what we have been doing as well, working with employers to get vacancies that we send out to students. So our students have been getting jobs in various industries as well, right? So we have been doing that since, so we're not waiting until you graduate to do that. We do that while you enroll in the program. We send it out, and even those who graduated, we also send employment opportunities to students as well, right? But in terms of an exact number to say like how many of them, because of the program, we are unable to say. So a student may have gotten a job, but it may not necessarily be because of the program specifically, right? But we know that a lot of the students are employed currently, because even students in the program right now, the bulk of them are employed, except for those whose parents have kept them to do the courses fully, or more of a full-time course sort of, right? So there are some parents who don't want their kids to work while they are studying, so they are not working, but most of the other students are currently employed. But we have done tracer studies, but I don't have an exact number in terms of how many of them got employment because of the qualification itself. But I've heard of many stories, and students have indicated that yes, because of the qualification they were able to, but we don't have a fixed number on it. And our tracer studies is done every 2 years. So because of that, it's not as like up to date as one would probably want as well. The second one was in terms of the practicals, right? Now, in terms of the computer part, you're learning programming and stuff. In terms of the computer, you learn about hardware, etc., but you're not actually repairing a computer. So that will be more like an A+ course where you actually take apart a computer, put it together, that sort of thing. So you won't be doing any like with hands-on practical with computer repairs where you need to use it, but you're using simulation examples like for the networking for the Cisco, they do a lot of simulation and stuff like that. So you tend to use more of those and those simulation software for those. But other than that, the practical comes from solving real life problems, but you're not going to be fixing a computer. So you won't need to have the physics class to fix a computer, that sort of thing. Other questions?
Okay, thank you.
Most welcome. Don't forget to include your email address if you haven't done so. If you can message me your email address as well, right? All right. Anyone else?
Good morning, sir. Can you all hear me?
Dev?
Can you all hear me?
I'm hearing you, Dev.
Right. With regards to applications and applying into level 5 with a diploma in IT, is there any other leniency towards probably related diplomas, such as, for example, I have an NETD diploma in electrical engineering that I acquired at UTT. Can that be used to apply for level 5, or would I need to use whatever CSEC I have to start at the bridging or level 1?
No, always use the highest qualification. So if you did the NETD diploma in an IT-based subject, you should be able to start at level 6 actually. The UTT diploma should be able to, once it's in an IT-related program, you could start at level 6.
Is electrical engineering considered an IT-related diploma?
Okay, we'll have to look at, in that case, we'll have to look at the number of IT-based subjects you've done, right? And if it's not IT-based, then if you don't have much IT-based, then they may start you at level 5 or level 4, depending. But if you have done any stuff, so that's why it's good when you're sending, if you send your resume as well, I can review all that you have and be able to advise you better. Of course, the university makes the final decision, right? But if you've done a UTT diploma in an IT-based subject, you'll get into level 6. If it's non-IT-based, then depending on what is covered, it may be level 4 or 5, depending. I always recommend, the other thing is, there are some students, for example, you went to UE, but you dropped out or after a certain point, or you went to some other school, you did an IT program, but you didn't finish it. Even though you didn't finish, but you would have passed units in it, and they are IT-based or computing, etc. Include those, please, because those things are very helpful of helping to get you into a higher level. You don't need to absolutely complete the last qualification, right? So just some things to note also when applying. Next question.
I did my BTech HND in computing from SBCS,
Right.
but I have not received the official certificate just yet. But I have the transcripts of the courses I did at SBCS and a letter confirming that I did it and I completed it. Could I use that in the application, or do I need the proper certificate from the actual place, the actual school?
No, you don't need to get the actual one from BTech. The letter from SBCS with outlining your results in the 16 subjects or so is more than sufficient, and you can use that to start the final year. I've had students use that already. That's
okay.
right.
Thank you.
Welcome, Chef. So if you've completed a program but haven't gotten the certificate, etc., it's not a problem. If you could get an unofficial transcript also, that will be helpful as well. Also, when you're applying, if you could use either a passport, or if you don't have a passport, your driver's permit or your national ID. Ideally, once it's not expired. If all of them are expired, then please send your birth certificate and a copy of an expired certificate, right? Like the passport or one of those. But ideally, once you have a picture ID, whether it's passport, driver's permit, or national ID, those are recommended. If it's the ID, both side doubles, please scan both sides, please, right? And if those are expired, then please send a a copy of your birth certificate with a copy of the expired certificate as well. All right. Also, if you're married and your name on your certificate is different from your, or the name on your ID is different from the name on your application, right? Particularly so for women who may have changed their name, you may want to include your marriage certificate. But if your ID has your married name, right, then that's fine. You no need to. Please know that the university, just another thing, they go with the name on the ID. That's why they want you to send an official ID. Whatever is the name on the ID is what they're using on your, regardless of what you put on the application form, they're still using that name on the ID, right? So that's why you must include the ID. Any other stuff?
I have one more question. If you don't have an IT related degree, however, you have like a heavy history in terms of programming or writing scripts to do particular jobs, would that be considered?
Yeah, work experience comes in real handy. And if you don't have any academic qualification, but you have work experience, you
No,
can take it to the higher
I
level.
understand that part. What if you have a BSc and you, let's say engineering, and you work with all operating systems such as Linux and Mac OS, and you write scripts to do engineering work?
Right. Can you get a job letter to support that?
Not so much, because that is more like a personal thing to make work easier. But if you can give up like an example of the work, would that be fine?
Well, ideally, they would want something from the employer stating that you do these things, right? But
Right.
what you can do, if it's not with the employer, but you do these, then your personal statement will come in handy then. There is an option called the personal statement that you can include, right? Now, ideally, if you have all the requirements, like meaning you have an associate degree and you're applying for level 6, you don't need it. But at the same time, if you don't and you want to get into a higher level, like in your case here, you may want to use a personal statement now to supplement that, because at the end of it, your personal statement could share all the different skills and stuff that you have that are IT related, that you would not get in a job letter, that you don't have in any of the qualifications you did. So the personal statement becomes what you have. And you don't have certificates or anything to support that either, right? I'm asking.
No, the best
Right.
I can
In
give
that
you.
case, the personal statement becomes required then. I would encourage you to do the personal statement then.
Okay, I'll get contact into you on how that personal statement is.
Sure, I could send you a sample as well if you'd like. So what you could do afterwards, you could message me just to let me know that, and I could send you a sample of the personal statement as well, right?
Okay, sure.
Cool, no problem then. Anyone else? Hi, Zenwa. Hello?
Yeah, I've got a question. Sorry.
Sure.
Yeah, we're still hearing you, by the way.
Anybody else? No problem. Guys, if that's it, then what we can do, we can close off the session. In fact, what I'd like to do is probably just quickly, how many does this, okay. There are two semesters in each level. So 2 in level 4, 2 in level 5, and 2 in level 6, right? 2 semesters in each level, 2 in level 4, 2 in level 5, and 2 in level 6. So that's 6 semesters in total, depending on which level you're starting. And each semester runs for 4 months, right? What I want to do is I want to just quickly complete the application, show you the application form, and show you what I require from the application form, because it's not so difficult to fill out, although I know some students do have a small bit of challenge as well with it. So I just wanted to show you a sample of a completed application form. Just give me a second, please, to get it.
Oh, would you be, well, just to make sure, you'll be sending the application form to those who send their emails, right?
I definitely will be sending it as well, right?
Okay, perfect.
I'm just pulling up a document to share with you on the application form, right? All right, so this here is the application form. All right, can you all see the application form there? All right, so what you do for the application form,
Yes.
you will sign here with the application form, right? You could sign. If you're having problems to sign, don't worry. What I could do, I could use a picture of your signature from the from your ID, and I could put it in there if you're having challenge using the software. I don't expect you to print it and scan it and all of that. That might be a bit of a headache. So if you want, fill it out in soft copy, and you could always take a picture of your signature and you could WhatsApp me, and I could include it in there if you wish, or you could include the picture when you're sending the stuff, right? You indicate whether it's male or female as the case may be. Make sure you put your date of birth over here. For example, the 12th of the, what I prefer writing it like this, like 12th March 2001 or something. The reason is I could clearly identify month and year because not everyone notices the DDMM here. So sometimes you have those things there. Your first name goes here. So for example, if I'm filling it out, I'll put Ravi. If you want to put middle names, you can include them here. Your family name is your last name. So in that case, it will be Raghunath for me. Previous family name is only for persons who have changed their name. If you got married or so, you've changed your name. You could leave out this part with passport number. So the passport number, country of issue, you can leave that out because it's not fully a requirement for it because you're studying here. Over here, you'll put your address. So like if I'm using 120 Montrose Main Road, Chagonas, Trinidad, right, etc. You put that there. You include your telephone number. Over here, this is more like a landline or an alternative contact for you if you want. And this is your mobile number goes here, right? So you have those. So your mobile, so in my case will be 1868, etc. Your email, this is so important that you put the correct email. Now, if you are employed, I will still recommend that you don't use your employer work email, but you use your private email like a Hotmail or Gmail or one of those. The reason is that if ever you change your place of employment, it's a headache to change it throughout the system. So I'll always recommend use a personal email here. So let's say it's raviraghunath@hotmail.com or something when you're writing as opposed to a work email, unless you own the business or something, right? Then, but if you, because you never know if you may change jobs, etc. You don't need the Skype ID. You can leave that out. Do you have any criminal conviction? I'm trusting the answer is no. And you could just simply tick it here, right? If you're having problems entering it, you could just put an X to the side or something if you wish. Your country of birth likely will be Trinidad, depending. Your nationality might be Trinidadian. Your country of domicile would be where you're living right now, which might be Trinidad as well, depending, right? We do have a few students outside. Are you currently resident in UK? For these, you can simply put no, no. You can put visitor here and just no, no for these here, right? The quickest thing is simply no, no for the rest of these. Good? Right? Because this is really for students going to England to study. You are not going to England to study, and they didn't want to do a separate form for like Trinidad students studying in Trinidad. This part is already filled in, so you don't have to worry about this. Here now, this part is pre-filled in, but here you'll indicate the level. So if it's year 1, you can put year 1, which is level 4. Or if it's year 2, you can put year 2, level 5, as the case may be. Or year 3 and level 6. So we know exactly where you want to start. Right? So if you could include this when you're filling it out, because this tells me exactly where you want to start. Okay? And when you're starting will be June 2021. Good. So your start date is June 2021. You leave this section out. Over here, try to put as much of your qualification. Now, if you did CSEC, right? So if you did, let's say, secondary school or CSEC, you can put secondary as the program of study or secondary level. Don't bother to put the individual subject. So let's say you started in 2010 and you went up to 2015. You don't need to put the month and the year and all of those. So you finish your CSEC in 2015, right? The name of the institution is not your school. It will be CXC is the institution. And you can put whether you have 5 or 6 CSEC passes, 6 O levels or CSEC O level passes. The reason I tend to put O level is because the people who are reading this are from the UK. So to help them understand better, so 6 CSEC passes, English here, right? So you don't need to put the individual subjects, etc. If you did A level, I'll put advanced level if you want. And let's say 2015 to 2017. 2017 you finished CXC, and let's say you did 5 keep, or if you did an associate degree and etc., right? I don't need to put the subject and that sort of thing. So let's say you did a program and you're incomplete. Let's say, for example, you were doing an associate degree. So it's an associate degree in IT, right? And you started in 2017 and in 2019 you dropped out. You leave here, you didn't finish the program. Let's say it was at Costat, right? ASC in, let's say, operating systems management. And I put incomplete or something like that, right? You know, like those. But the whole idea is to fill in these. And if you did any short certification courses like A+, Net+, I'll include them as well. If it's more than here, not a problem, put in the highest ones, right? So put in the highest ones, but all your certifications, like let's say I did A+, right? So computer repairs, let's say 2018, you finished in 2018, right? And whether or not you did, let's say you didn't write it with CompTIA, but you did it, let's say with CTS College, but you didn't write the CompTIA exam, you can put A+ certificate, etc. Good. Over here now, if you didn't do one of these, you can put none, and here now you'll fill in, well, you did CSEC English, and you got a grade 2 or something like that, right? In 2005 or something. Now notice when you put it, it fills up these three. Don't worry about that. That's not usual. When they created the form, they probably had a few errors here. This is for your job. So let's say, for example, you're working as
I see, sorry. We listing out all our subjects in that previous line?
No, you don't have to list your subject. That's what I'm saying. Just put 6 K passes or 5 CXC passes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see the English language requirements.
Or just put CSEC English alone. Just so it's just English here, right? You're seeing just the English. Did you do English? If you did it just English, thing, yeah.
Sorry, I didn't see the English language requirements at the top of the heading. I'm sorry.
Right, yeah, that's okay. You just put the English, if you did English, but if it wouldn't matter because you're Trinidadian. Now, the most important part of the application, apart from the front page where you have your information, is this part here, which is the academic qualification and the work experience. Because if you have the academics, you'll get into the level. If you don't have it, then the combination of work experience and academics may be very helpful. So for example, the person who does the programming and all of those, right? Let's see, I think it was Anil, I believe it was, maybe, or Zenwa, I'm not too sure. If you do programming and stuff, but you don't, it's not with your employer, but you do it privately as well, you could include it here if you wish, right? Let's say, for example, you're a clerk at a particular, let's say at CTS College. I put your start here, and let's say present, full-time, etc. So you put your various jobs in here. Good. All right, the rest of it, physical disability, yes or no, right? So let's say in my case, no, right? You find out about us through your agent, right? And then put 2 persons here. Now for this part here, you put 2 persons name, like let's say John Doe. And you don't have to fill out all the information. You can put a phone number for him, like example for that, right? Or an email address if you have. You don't have to fill in all the rest of information. And let's say the other person is Mary Jane, right? And her number is 123 dash, etc. You could include it there. And this last part is for signing, and that's the application form. Good. So that's the completed application form there for you. Cool. If you need having problems signing, as I said, take a picture and send it to me. Or if your ID has a signature, I could pull it from there for you. Good. All right, guys. That's it. So what I'm going to do again, just one last time, ask you guys as well. Sample completed application form. All right. So at this point, I'll ask you as well to, if you haven't sent your email address to me on the chat, if you could do so, right? And we close off the session at this time, okay?
Ravi, probably a suggestion. See how you just saved the sample application form? You could probably send an application form and the sample so that it could be a guideline to those who want to, go back to fill out the application form. For those who send their email addresses, you could send that to everybody. So that will be an additional help.
Definitely, and that's no problem at all. I'll gladly do that as well, right? The only thing is if somebody don't clear my information, which we had in the past, right? I had a few instances where they didn't clear my information, so I couldn't distinguish what was mine versus what was theirs because they just fill in theirs where they saw it necessary and left mine. So I had to go on now and delete what I believe was mine or verify with them. So I had a few cases of those. So those are the drawbacks to it. But I have no problem doing it. It's just that you have those small challenges in the past because we did it in the past and those were some of the problems we had, but I'll gladly include it. Just asking you guys to be very careful when you're filling it out. Delete what is not yours and put in what is yours. Good.
Yeah, it's just a template, so you can indicate to them this is just a template as a guideline to follow how to
No, we do
write
all of that.
their
Don't worry,
application.
trust me. We do all of those, but it still happens. So but it's not a problem because it happens all the time, but it's not an issue at all. Because that is why I have taken responsibility. When they send it to me, anything not complete, I will call them and get the information and complete the rest for them. So I usually will handle that part. I will fill out the rest. And what I also do as well, sometimes with the other forms that they have to fill out later on, I assist in filling it out as well, simply to expedite the process also. But I do send samples and I have tutorials to do it as well. Anushka, your hands were raised. I don't know if there's a question. Latoya?
No.
All right.
No, I don't have any questions. Sorry about that.
That's okay. All right. Okay, guys, at this point, we'll end the session if there are no further questions then, right? Thank you all very much.
You're very welcome.
All right, thanks, man.
Thanks. You're welcome.
Welcome.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome, guys. Welcome, Kenton. Okay, Gabriel, I just sent you a message on the chat, right? All right. Do we have to pay for tuition? Yeah, in order to qualify for the discount, you're just paying the semester tuition, not the total tuition. So in order to qualify, you pay the semester tuition, not the total tuition. All right. Okay, take care. Signing out now.